Hey, Shaylin. So I thought it might be a little easier for me to point out, kind of talk you through on the subject and verb quiz that you had a question about, because it's kind of easier to talk about it than it is to write about it. Sorry, my phone's ringing. Hang on. Okay. Um, okay. So I went through your quiz, and a couple of things were pretty easy to fix. Like, the quiz auto grades it, and so if you misspell something, then that will kind of affect it a little bit. So, like, for example, down here where it says you typed in professor, but it's supposed to be professor, which is probably just a little typo. You had the right answer. You picked the right word. You just misspelled it. So I went ahead and changed the point on that one. There was another one that I changed a point on. Like here, you said kittens and puppies. You were exactly right. That's a compound subject, so that's a little bit harder. So I'm glad you got that. But you put kittens and puppies, and I had put in the answer to be listed as kittens, comma puppies, but same thing. So I gave you the point for that. It doesn't record right there, but it's on there. So okay, so I went and corrected some of those, but then there are some things that it looks like you're missing, and the main one is, let's see, like in question 3 here, where it says, okay, so here's the sentence: I'm not running for an office this year. These are tricky because in this type of sentence, the verb is actually two words because there's a helping verb that goes in front of it. So the verb, you're right, is running. But in a sentence like this, we couldn't say I running for an office this year. We have to have a little helping verb in between the subject and the verb. So it reads I am running. Now, so the verb would be am running. I know it's two words, so really, you know, but it's just one verb, but the verb goes like has that helping verb with it, that am with it. Okay. Now, this one is especially tricky because it has the word not in the middle, so that separates out the helping verb and the verb. So I know that that's kind of tricky, but that was the kind of the point of the question, was to get you to recognize that this type of word, an ing verb, often needs a helping verb. And so it needs a helping verb, and it's included in the verb when you list the verb, even when that's interrupted by a negative word like not. Okay. So you made the same mistake. Let's see, down here somewhere. Okay, right here. In question 10, it says the student has slept through the entire class. Okay. Now this one's even trickier, right? Because you got the verb right, but we still have a helping verb that's needed here. Now this is tricky because when we speak, we say the student slept through the entire class. But if you think about it, that means something slightly different. Like that would be like somebody talking about it in the past. Oh my goodness, I had the student in class and the student slept through the entire class. But this sentence more means like somebody came into the classroom and you're like, that student has slept through the entire class, right? So it's more like it's going on, it went on in the future and it's going on, continues to go on right now. Okay. In that sort of a scenario, then you need a helping verb. So the answer to the question is if you identify the complete verb, right? That's kind of a clue. If I say identify the complete verb, usually that means it's a helping verb or something funky is there. So the complete verb is has slept. You put in slept, which is mostly right, like 2/3 right. So you can use the same thing like we did above, where you could take out the helping verb and it would make sense, but does it communicate the same idea? So if we said the student slept through the entire class, it does make sense, which the one above didn't. That does make sense, but it doesn't mean exactly the same thing as this sentence does. So that's your problem with the helping verbs. Okay, the one above here. Now, remember that a verb is whatever, when we ask for verbs of the sentence, the verb is whatever the subject of the sentence is doing. Okay, so here it says, I waited for the bubble bath to foam and then slipped into the warm tub. So the subject of the verb, even though it seems like it's all about the bubble bath, it's really all about me. It's really about me, right? And me waiting for the bubble bath and then me slipping into the warm tub. So I is the subject. So what am I doing? And whatever it is that I am doing or the subject is doing, those are the verbs of the sentence. So first, I waited, right? That's a verb. I'm doing something. And after that, I slipped into the warm tub. Okay. So Waded and slipped is the compound verb that we have there. 2 verbs for that. Okay. Now you're right that foam is what the bubble bath is doing, so that is a verb, but it's not the main verbs in the sentence because it's not what the sentence is about. It's not what the subject of the sentence is doing. So in all of these, like, you're real close. So don't get too discouraged because you're real close. You just need a little bit of correction. All right, let's look up here and make sure there's nothing else. I think that pretty much covers it. I corrected the other things that you either misspelled or that you had right. You just, the computer didn't grab it right. So if that, I hope that helps. If it doesn't, email me back and we'll go through it until you get it, because it's a really important thing to get. Okay. So if you need something else, let me know and we'll figure it out.